So I want you to imagine that every cold call you make is worth $10. So every cold call you make, you get $10 in an imaginary pocket. All right. Let's talk about it. So, quick background. I was just starting my agency and I was told to make cold calls in parallel to cold emails. And when I first started, it was absolutely brutal because I am perhaps the worst cold caller in the world. I have, I'm a fairly anxious person, right? On the disc profile, I'm high C, a little bit neurotic. So I had a lot of cold call anxiety. I would agree. So I would say perhaps it was harder for me to do cold calls than the average person. I just had so much anxiety about it. I'm naturally a little bit. I'm not the best with people, or as at least I'm not as much as I'd like to be. I know that can sound a little bit crazy to other people who've like met me. I'm just like the reason, like I try really hard because it's just such a natural weakness, just talking to other people. And so after 25 cold calls, I genuinely did not believe that it was possible to sign up a client from cold calling. I thought that cold calling was a waste of time. I'd say stuff like cold calling is dead, cold calling is dead. And yeah, I just believed that it was a gigantic waste of time. I did not want to be doing it anymore. And I was ready to throw in the towel. And so I know people think this is crazy, but when I was just starting my business, I just decided to, or well, my agency, I decided to pay a premium to be around premium people. So I actually joined a mastermind in the B2B lead generation space. And I went on a group call with other entrepreneurs. And on there, when people said, "Oh, so Daniel, how's your day going?" So honestly, not going great. I only did this amount of cold calls today. It's really hard, kind of struggling, um, really tough. I don't think this is for me. I don't see how anyone could be successful at this. It's like, okay, okay. And so there are two very successful entrepreneurs in that group, and they told me that when they were doing door-to-door sales, which was one of the earliest jobs that they were successful at, they use this mental model to help them, and they told themselves every door I knock on, whoops, every door I knock on is $10 in my pocket, and they just kept on saying that. And so they said, look, if I want to make $3,000 this month, I have to knock on what 300? Yeah, 300 doors this month. And it's like, okay, okay. And so they suggested that for the rest of my time cold calling, I imagine that each dial I make is worth $10. So $10 coming into my pocket. And then my coach then told me that I should do the 500 cold call challenge. And so the 500 cold call challenge is what it says on the tin. Just do 500 cold calls. That sounds easier to do than it actually is. It's really easy to do okay, the first is the hardest, then the next five is kind of hard. Once you've done about 25, it doesn't sound that crazy, but it actually is, and it is exhausting. But I don't know, I'm weirdly motivated by these challenges. It's like, all right, let's do the 500 cold call challenge. I was really excited about it. And the math works out like this. So if getting one client will be worth $5,000 over the next 12 months in revenue, I will have to make 500 cold calls, right? That's kind of the basic math, right? And as 5,000 divided by 10 equals 500. So it actually worked out quite well. And so I did the 500 cold call challenge, which I'm very proud of myself that I did because a lot of people who start don't finish it. And I got 13 positive interest leads because I wasn't very good. I still don't believe I'm very good at cold calling, but I still do it. I had 3 leads that I had serious conversations with, so what I would count as sales qualified leads. And yeah, I signed up my first 2 clients from those 500 dials, and I discovered that I could get clients from cold calling. And the trouble was, the more I tried learning cold calling, the more I realized how absolutely terrible I am at it, as in how terrible I am at cold calling, right? Dunning-Kruger effect. The more I do it, the more I realize I suck at cold calling. But I still keep on doing it because that's what a professional does. They keep at it even when it gets kind of hard. And so here was my daily routine. So my daily cold calling routine for the 500 cold calling challenge is first I'd put a can of fizzy soda in the freezer. I did this in August 2025. Really good to have a can of ice cold soda, if you call it. I just put in like a Monster Energy in there, and I had it. It was really good, and yeah, basically it had a rule. I could only take the can out of the freezer after I'd done 10 dials. So my first 10 dials of the day, because psychologically the first 10 dials are the hardest. And if you could do 10 dials, you can do 20 dials. If you can do 20, you could do 40, right? And so yeah, if you could do 40, you could do even more. But the first 10 are the hardest psychologically. And really the first is the hardest. Once you can do the first, you can do more. And so you're probably wondering why? Why put a can of fizzy drink in the freezer? If you do, if you leave it for too long in the freezer, it will explode, right? That's what cans do. And so, at least for me, it was crazy motivating, and it really helped overcome my anxiety. And I had a lot of cold calling anxiety. Then, so once you make your 10 dials, you can take it out of the fridge, take a 15-minute break, open up a drink, glug, 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 enjoy it because you've earned it. Then you make the rest of your calls. And so if you want to do it in a month, which I think that's good, do a minimum of 24 dials per day, because that's 500 cold calls divided by 21 working days in a month. I went for 48 per working day, so 48 dials to get results much faster. I'd usually get about maybe around 5 to 10 conversations a day with a decision maker from that. And so, yeah. And so I always dialed yesterday's voicemails as well, as that indicated that that number was look, it might not have been a decision maker's numbers, but it definitely wasn't a gatekeeper's numbers, because I'm terrible at getting past the gatekeeper. And so, yeah. And actually, the first client I ever signed, I called him a third day in a row after 2 voicemails. And I noticed that the highest quality numbers were always numbers that previously voicemailed me. And so, yeah. Now, obviously, this kind of depends on your pickup rate. Some industries are better than others. Some sources of information were better than others. I got the numbers from Google Maps. So that's a high quality number, right? The number on Google Maps. Problem is, I got a lot of gatekeepers, and so really I only cared about conversations with decision makers. But yeah, that's my story. I allowed the mental model of how every cold call you make equals $10 in your pocket, and yeah, it helped me sign 2 clients, get my first 2 clients in the business, and it allowed me to gamify what I was doing with cold callings. And that was really important because, again, I was struggling with cold calls. And so, yeah, that's it. That's the video, and I hope it was educational for you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See ya. Bye, 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 bye.